I would like an applaud on the back because I finally have seen a movie in theaters on the day that it's released. Now the actual release date for Evil Dead Burn is July 10th today, but they have sneak peeks I guess sometimes. So I saw it yesterday in the evening time. Now, of course, there were some people there, some folks there, and so I did have to hear some chatter, but it wasn't too bad. But anyway, so Evil Dead Burns. So if you're keeping up, this is kind of like a series. And when I say series, not in like a part one, part two type of thing. It's just, a franchise, we'll say that. So in this Evil Dead Burn, of course, the star is fire, right? That's where they get the title. So I'll say this: the gore that was in this movie, I feel like it was just enough, and it was tiptoeing on the edge of being too much, but it didn't fully go over the edge. Like that scene, there was a few scenes where it was like, oh god damn, where like the I don't know the names, but the girlfriend that got the girlfriend that got possessed by the deity, devil, whatever. She took the grandmother's, well, this wasn't really gore, it was just nasty. She took the grandmother's partial dentals out and like licked them, and I was like, ew. And in the scene where the granny, after she got possessed, she stuck the damn wine cork in Alice's ear, and I'm thinking, okay, she just gonna do it a little bit. She stuck it all the way in there like that. I'm pretty sure it like penetrated her eardrum, and I grabbed both of my ears when I was sitting there, and I was like, oh no. The scene where the grandfather made Joseph. Joseph was the brother that didn't die. He made Joseph like tongue kiss, or well, really, he shoved his head down into his dead girlfriend because he had, his girlfriend was possessed, so he hit her over the head with it looked like it was the damn dishwasher thing or whatever. But anyway, I was like, ew. You know what's so crazy about this? The whole damn family got possessed. Even Joseph. I honestly thought the movie was going to end with Alice and Joseph both surviving, but it ended up just being Alice. And I was like, dang. But he didn't get possessed until the very, very end. I think from his dad. But anyway, his father was the first to get burnt. So starting off, you could tell Will was abusive to his wife because, first of all, he was very argumentative at the club and just aggressive. I feel like, because at that time, at that one scene where they're at the club, that was in the beginning. I didn't know they were brothers. I thought they were all just like a friend, two couples. But it's like, why didn't Will or Joseph put his brother in check? Like, he saw he was getting out of control. He should have been like, whoa, what's going on with you? I want to backtrack real quick because that club scene reminded me of something. Listen, walking into this theater, I didn't know I was going to get twerked on, okay? That scene where the possessed demon shit comes out of the water and stands in the road and gets hit by the car, and the next thing we see is two ass cheeks. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? People in the theater started laughing because it's like, okay. I tell you some things I do like how it was as far as the cinematography. There was a scene where the girl, Joseph's girlfriend, she was possessed at this point. She was fighting both Joseph and Alice, and the camera was overhead, like in the, over them, and we saw them fighting and moving around the house. I like that just because I don't see it often in movies, or at least not during fight scenes. And the one scene I really enjoyed as far as the cinematography of it was when Joseph's dead, he was trying to find, he was possessed at this point, and he was trying to find that dagger that's supposed to be the one thing to kill them. And he was whooping Joseph's ass all over that living room. It's like, realistically, it's a movie. It's a movie. But, realistically, he would have died or been unconscious or something by now. As many times as folks got their heads slammed in the shit, they would have been died. But I actually, even though the dad, I don't know what it was, but even though the dad was possessed and he's in the villain form, I liked his role as he played a good possessed person. I don't know what it was. He did, the grandma did, the girlfriend was okay possessed, but I think the grandma and the dad did a really good, like, playing the possessed people. And you know what I did think though, because the granny has dementia, Alzheimer's. I get confused about which one is which. But she has memory loss, memory problems. I thought she was gonna have a moment of clarity and like help save the day. So I guess I thought it was gonna be her to survive, Joseph and Alice, but it ended up just being poor Alice. Um, there's some things you can get out of this, like their family was jacked up from the start. Like you can tell the dad was probably abusive to the mom. Like Joseph came out more like his mom, kind-hearted and all that, whereas his brother came out more like his dad. And I feel like when they were in that morgue, like before Will was about to be cremated, I think that the dad helped, because they didn't show the dad getting possessed, but I think he helped his son. I think he missed his son so much that when his son came up out of the casket and then killed that poor little mortuary dude, I think he went along with it and just willingly became possessed. That's what I think. There's this scene that I don't know how to feel about it. It's like, is it romantic in a totally warped way? It was when his wife, she he came through the window, the dad, he was like, possessed, and the wife was kissing him and they were like tongue kissing and stuff, and he has blood coming out of his mouth, and he had shot himself like 3 times in the head at this point. You know who he was looking like after he shot himself 3 times in the head? He was looking like Freddy Krueger. That it looked like Freddy Krueger was whooping ass all throughout the house after that scene where he shot himself. That's what, and I'm a Freddy Krueger fan if you follow me. So yeah, now and then another scene that reminded me of another movie was when her husband, who he's supposed to be dead, but after the fire was set in the house and Alice was outside, her husband came out looking like something from like the Terminator. And that's what kind of was in my mind. And he was like dead set on taking her out. He's like, if I can have you, no one can. And he was just pure evil. And of course she ends up defeating him and everything. But it's crazy because poor Alice was from France, and he met her in France when he was like, I don't know, backpacking there or something, and married her, brought her here just to abuse her and treat her crazy. When they were at the funeral and the mom was like, oh, he loved French cuisine and French blah blah blah. He even brought home a French wife. I feel like he probably was what's the word? He was so into French culture. I think he probably looked at her like an object in a way. And when she came over here with her own mindset, like, he wanted her to quit smoking, which I think is fair, but he was being abusive about it. Like, you can't, if you meet somebody who smokes and you know you're against smoking, or you know that you want to have a baby one day so you wouldn't deal with someone who smokes cigarettes, you don't need to date someone who smokes cigarettes in the first place. How are you going to meet somebody that smokes cigarettes and then get mad because they smoke cigarettes? Like, you knew this from the jump. So that's why I feel like he looked at her like, oh, I like French cuisine, I like French stuff, this is my French wife. I think he looked at her as like, and you know, just an item, a French item. And his mom kind of was acting kind of cold towards her. I'm willing to bet, because she wasn't white. His wife wasn't white. She looked like she was probably like, you know, in France, there's people that are, let's see, I don't want to say Arabic, but like North African or something. She looked like she's something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if the mom didn't like that part. But that wasn't really stated in the movie, but I was just throwing it out there. But I would say, because I was watching Evil Dead Rise the other day, I do like the other one better than this one. This one wasn't bad, but like, I get them confused. The one where I think Evil Dead was, because you know that the remake, they made it first in the 80s. But I think the one I'm talking about was where the mom was the possessed one, and her kids were in this, they stayed in these apartments that used to be like a hotel or something. Let me know in the comments. I'll probably pin it if I see it. But anyway, yeah, like I said, this one was cool. You know, when I was watching this, I was thinking, if they're going to continue doing these, they should make like an Evil Dead Freeze. I think that'd be cool. Like how Fire was the star in this one, Evil Dead Freeze can be like, you know, the demonic being Freeze and stuff. Or it could take place like in Alaska or something, and you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good one. But anyways, let me know what you think about this movie. Do you like it better than the other ones? Have you seen the other ones? Let me know. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can hit that button for me. I very much appreciate it. Trying to get to 1,000 by the end of this year. Peace and blessings to every last one of you watching. Until next time.